Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Earnestly Speaking podcast coming to you January 7th, 2021. I sound kind of upbeat, actually. That's weird. Whoa. Okay. That's a little loud. Sound a little too upbeat. Maybe because I've been sick last couple of days. Actually, last episode, you probably heard that. You probably heard the early remnants of me getting sick. To which my wife freaked out. She's like, uh-oh, you might have COVID. I'm like, babe, I don't have COVID. No. I mean, I didn't get tested in that way, but it was just a normal cold. It didn't get worse, much worse. And it was little sniffles here and there. I felt a little fatigued for about a day or so, coughing. In fact, it's probably this is the onset of my allergies, you know. So I don't think, I really doubt it was COVID, honestly. But yeah, I'm a little upbeat now because I've been, I took the day off of work yesterday as a result. I didn't want to risk, getting my sick. Even if it wasn't COVID, I still would have done the same thing because, I don't want to get my sick. So I feel a little better today. Still a little sniffles, but again, that's probably allergies too as well. So, but yeah, we're now 7 days in 2021, and can we go ahead and trade in? Can we go ahead and call it a day? Can we this trial's over already? The 7-day trial runs over. 2021 is already shit. You know what I'm saying? Chaotic week. Tuesday you had the Georgia Senate runoffs, which we knew would be chaotic in general because anything political is chaotic in its purest form, especially in today's politics, in today's America. No one can get along with anything. We are more divided than we ever been, at least in definitely my lifetime. I don't want to insult people and compare it to the 50s and 60s, the civil rights movement, because you don't get worse than that. At least people like me have rights to speak up. We didn't have that right to speak up back then. We were restricted in the ways to contribute to this country. I'm not now. I'm a free man. I don't play victim, but I will call out bullshit. I will call out, oppression. And does it exist still in this country? Yeah. Is it widespread like it used to be? No, but we got a long way to go. I'll acknowledge that. So yeah, Tuesday's runoffs. Democrats sweep away both wins. Raphael Warnock, John Ossoff both win the Senate seats in Georgia to basically take control of the Senate. Well, basically the Senate is 50-50, but with the gridlock, there's a tiebreaker, which goes to Democrats and Kamala Harris, the upcoming vice president, Madam Vice President, will be in 13 days, as it's recording. And yet, all of that was, pushed aside for what will transpire the next day. And we knew coming into this Wednesday, January 6th, that with the electors being certifying the votes in Congress, certifying the votes, the last hurdle before we get to the inauguration of Joseph R. Biden, that there would be some chaos, potential chaos. And I've been saying for a long time that the problem with Donald Trump as president, that there is no guardrails. The guardrails work to a point, but good Lord, he has stretched the guardrails as far stretched as he can. And the whole point was to stop the vote, stop the steal, the alleged steal, rather. And they had protests, which they were protests. They were peaceful at first. I'll acknowledge that. And for the record, people may like what I'm going to say here, but as silly as it is and it looks, and I don't agree with them, for the record, I don't think that what they're protesting is actually something that is actual or based on fact. There was no widespread, I don't believe that. There was no widespread voter fraud. I don't believe that. Sorry, I don't. Show me the evidence. This has been litigated in court already numerous times in the states that were flagged as potential fraud. And every single case was dropped. Every single case. You had recounts in Georgia. That didn't work. You had recounts in Wisconsin. That didn't work. And now we're dealing with this situation where they're trying to, quote unquote, stop the steal. And you got a president in Donald Trump who's pretty much inciting, to go to the Capitol and to raise some hell. And again, they were protesters until they got inside the Capitol. And once you break to the Capitol and you start, causing damage, which they did, broke windows and going to offices, ransacking offices of congressmen and women, you are no longer a protester. You're a domestic terrorist. It's that simple. You are no longer a protester at that point. Chaotic. And yet, I watched all these events happening in real time. Because I actually watched I stayed home because I was sick. Decided to stay home, watch ended up watching to start off the Congress certifying the votes. The last hurdle before we get to the inauguration of Joe Biden. And, get to Arizona, of course, the Arizona part where, they start protesting the number of senators and congressmen, Republican congressmen that decided to, object to Arizona, which went to another room. And then next thing you know, these quote unquote protesters end up, who by the way are no longer protesters now, start breaking into the Capitol and causing hell. And, you see this going on, you're stunned, and yet, in my case, you're not surprised. And for me, it's pretty easy. I've been saying for 5 years, there was something different in the air with Donald Trump being the guy, from the time he declared to run president of the United States to his campaign, and then he gets elected. And I didn't vote for him, for the record. I did not vote for him in 2016. I sure as hell didn't vote for him in 2020. But I damn sure gave him a fucking chance. I was open to the possibility of voting for him in 2020 had he, navigated, had he governed like a normal person. And he didn't do that. He didn't do that at all. Because this is the thing I think people fail to realize about Donald Trump. At the end of the day, forget all what you must think about him. Negative, positive. He blew an opportunity here. He really did. Because he did shake things up. He did. He shook some shit up. In a way that had he not been so, what's the word I'm looking for? Not chaotic, because sometimes chaos is necessary in certain situations. But he was a problem. And because of that, the appeal of supporting him was, especially in my case, I couldn't do it. No way I couldn't do it. And I'm someone who reveres this office of the president, no matter who it is, no matter if it's Obama or Bush or Clinton or Carter, Reagan. Doesn't matter. I have a reverence to the office of president. Even to some degree, Donald Trump. But to me, it feels stained. Because here he is inciting violence, dabbling in conspiracy theories. If you really believe there's a fraud going on, but yet you can't show any proof of it. Again, and people are supporting this guy over a fucking grift. This is a grift. He's taking your money. He's taking your money, literally. I don't get it. I again, as much blame as you put Donald Trump, I unfortunately leave responsibility to the people who support him. Because, again, I am big on personal accountability. You make decisions. You see the choice there. You make the decision. It's terrible because you had the woman also who got shot and killed, which unfortunately she, at that point wasn't a protester either because she was on the Capitol. She was literally there trying to break through the doors in the Capitol. In the Capitol. Literally trying to break down doors. She got shot and killed. And I feel terrible for her family and people who care about her friends and whatnot. But this is the risk you took when you trespass. What the fuck do you think is going to happen? Fuck around and find out. She did that. And it sucks because I don't want to be talking shit about a dead person, regardless of their political views. But at the same time, you literally fucking trespass the Capitol. It wasn't that she got shot outside by the guardrails or by the door. She was already inside the Capitol trying to get to another layer of the Capitol. And not to bring race in this though, but let's keep it 100 here real quick. What if my black ass was out there protesting and I decided to run up to the Capitol? Let's be real, dude. And people will say, oh, you're just saying that, just whatever, just start racial bullshit. Yeah, but yet there is video proof to tell you otherwise. My ass wouldn't even gotten past the grass. Wouldn't even gotten past the fucking guardrails. Are you kidding me? And you can sit here and tell me, oh, you're just being paranoid. All you gotta do is watch last summer's protests and quote-unquote riots. That's all you need to know. There have been bodies of my skin tone all over the fucking steps of Washington, D.C., if that was the case. And you know I don't play fucking the race card on any of this shit. But I'm keeping it 100 right now. I'm keeping it fucking 100 right now. My black ass have been fucking dead before I even got to the first step on the Capitol. Are you kidding me? So don't come at me with this shit about playing race card and all this bullcrap, because there's evidence to prove the contrary. And it's sad. It's really sad that someone died because of this. But again, this is the risk you took. You were a trespasser at this point. You were literally already in the Capitol and trying to get to the second layer of the Capitol. Again, it sucks. It really sucks. These lives. Because I'm all about, even if I agree with your politics or not, it is nothing more American. I stated this on this show so many times. There's nothing more American than using the right to protest peacefully. That was not a peaceful protest at that point. Just that simple. And I hate saying this shit, but that's the reality of the situation. And you guys know this. I don't play the race card when it comes to this crap. You know I don't. I don't. My wife is white. My kids are fucking mixed. Some of my best friends are white. Like, seriously. But don't insult my ass. Tell me I'm playing the fucking race card because, you're saying, oh, well, if I had gone there, we got shot. Because that's the reality of what have happened. Because we've seen it before in 2020. Not in 1965. In 2020. So spare me the bullshit. Didn't mean going on a fucking profanity-laced tirade here. I did not. I didn't plan this, actually, to be honest. I was hoping to come in calm. But things are, dude, it's just as simple. I don't know. Let me step back a little bit. The talk now about Donald Trump and whether or not they should invoke the 25th Amendment in terms of removing him from office. I'm going to be honest with you. I have mixed views about this. Is Donald Trump fit to be in office the next 13 days? Probably not. Is it pointless to try to expedite this situation and get him removed? I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this. To me, I mean, you already have Twitter, Facebook, social media in general already locking him down for pretty much the rest of his presidency, if what the information is true in terms of, because they're saying, I think Facebook is 2 weeks, and I think Twitter was still 24 hours at the time. Facebook, Instagram are locked up, of course. You know, I think at this point, trying to remove him from office now is almost divisive and petty from Democrats. But on the flip side, I feel weird because, like, I've been critical of Democrats for years. And by the way, I'm not a Democrat. Just for the record, I'm not a Democrat whatsoever. I accuse them of being pussies, being spineless. So when they do this, am I a hypocrite for being critical of them using spine to do this now? I guess. I don't know. I just think it's pointless anyway. I mean, Mike Pence already said he won't. There's rumors now saying Mike Pence is not going to consider it. 12 days to go of this recording. Well, 13, but 12 days by the time this recording comes out, I think. I guess. I don't know. I don't think... I mean, we're already divided. I think having this being the next step now would probably add more chaos to the fire. Okay? He's already said he's going to commit to the peaceful transfer of power. Okay? The last hurdle is done. We got there. I don't think Trump could. Well, I say that, but that could not be the case. It could be worse. Honestly, it could be worse. But I think this is probably going to be the last major thing you're going to see before the inauguration from Donald Trump. I think he will, as you have people from his cabinet resigning, people around him resigning, people very critical, Republicans too. Gotta give him credit there. Although some of them, are late to the party. Wanted to, stuck up to him when it was convenient for political power. But now that he's gone to the extra hilt, now it's like, oh, wait a second. Ooh. You guys were warned like years ago about this. When I talk about this stuff, it's not coming from a partisan point of view. Like I get accused all the time. On this show this year, Zach Degenerate came on the podcast over the summer last year and told me and asked me why am I always critical of Democrats and liberals. I was accused of that by my own friend Zach Degenerate last year. That I am overcritical of Democrats and liberals on social media. Because I call that shit down the middle. That's why. I call bullshit down the middle. You know what my political party is? It's common sense. I was Republican until 2008. You guys know my story already. Left the party in 2008. I've been at NPA ever since. NPA stands for non-party affiliate. Now, do some of my views lean left? Yeah, absolutely. I would say a lot of my leanings have certainly gone to the left in the last decade or so as I've gotten older. I was raised in the church. So understandably, a lot of my views early on was very conservative. But you end up having a brain of your own and thinking about life as you see it, not according to what somebody's telling you, and you make up your own mind. And one day I'm gonna do a podcast on that one day about my history of the church, because that's a very complicated story, complicated thing. Just for the record, my beliefs never changed, but I do have a lot of thoughts about that. And one day I want to have a chance to really sit and, spill out what I want to say about that. I will. But, I think it's pointless at this point to invoke the 25th Amendment. I mean, but if Democrats feel they need to do so, or well, not as Democrats, those Republicans actually want to also say the same thing too, and have been publicly saying that. That's why I'm kind of amazed that people are putting this shit on Nancy Pelosi when in fact the ball got rolling with a lot of Republicans too. Nancy Pelosi just had the balls to say it out loud. You know what I'm saying? So don't. I'm not even a Pelosi fan, but come on now, be honest. Just be honest. Man, I didn't mean to go into a verbal diarrhea there. I didn't even know I was going to plan to talk about this. Because all this shit's unsurprising, honestly. I've been saying this for a long time. This could happen. I've been saying in this podcast. Just me and Mark Francois have been saying it on this show for years. That the risk of this happening could come to roost. And it did. And it's pathetic that it only took their lives on Capitol Hill being in jeopardy before they said, "Oh shit, we gotta keep this shit under control." You fucking play with fire, you're gonna get burned one day. Fuck around and find out. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, what else I want to talk about before I go? I've been rewatching the old Batman movies. My wife and I. We might do a podcast with her and I on that going forward. Next couple weeks. And because we got into the debate over the holidays about that, which the best ones, who's the best Batman, who's the best Bruce Wayne, who's the best Batman Bruce Wayne combo. I got opinions in that. I think honestly, and this is not gonna be very popular opinion, maybe you might agree with me or not. I think the best combo Batman Bruce Wayne is Val Kilmer. He was, of course, in Batman Forever. I think Val Kilmer's also the best Bruce Wayne. I think Michael Keaton's the best Batman. I think George Clooney is the worst Batman. Clooney might have pulled off the Bruce Wayne because it looks a little more debonair, but no one's more debonair than Val Kilmer. Although now, I mean, he's a lot older now. I don't even want to talk ill because he's had a lot of health issues in recent years. One hell of an actor, though, I'll tell you that. But I think Val Kilmer is probably the best combo. But one thing her and I agreed on, and we're going to talk about this on the podcast separately, it's down the road, is one thing they got right with both Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher is that they nailed the villains right on the money. To me, the three best typecasted villains, probably, and this is probably in order, to me, is Jim Carrey as the Riddler in Batman Forever. You had both Jokers, Jack Nicholson, and I'll say Heath Ledger also, although that's not part of the four here I'm talking about. But they nailed both Jokers. And honestly, Danny DeVito as Penguin nailed on the money. Nailed it. They even nailed Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman in Batman Returns. They nailed Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. I mean, seriously, they nailed it. Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy was great. I thought Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, Dr. Freeze, whatever, I can't remember, is it Mr. or Dr. whatever, Dr. Freeze, that was nailed too. Nailed it also. They always nail the villains great. I think Jim Carrey's the best villain of all because I can't imagine another actor playing Jim Carrey as the Riddler other than Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey literally nailed that role, both as the Riddler and as Edward Nygma. So my wife and I are going to probably do a podcast in the next couple weeks on that topic. Because her and I go back and forth on that, on some of the Batmans. And also ranking the movies, too. Like, Batman Forever, to me, is more underrated. I think Batman Returns is a little overrated. The first Batman's great, because obviously, not just because of the fact that Jack Nicholson's in there, Michael Keaton and Kim Basinger, who looks sexy as hell, but even, the soundtrack. Who did the soundtrack? My guy Prince. Come on now. You can't fail Prince, man. Come on. So we're going to talk about that. Her and I are going to talk about that down the road about that. Again, apologize a little bit. I'm going to leave it up anyway, but I apologize for the excessive F-bombs. A little too extreme. But, you know, this is Earnestly speaking for a reason. I'm going to be honest with you guys. If I want to curse, I'm going to curse. You know? This is what's on my heart right now. You know what I'm saying? So, I think I'll leave it there. Earnestly Podcast. Earnestspeaking.net. No, not really. No, I'm not site yet. I'm bringing it back, actually, though. Earnestspeaking.net, for the record. But on Twitter, EasyChris7. Connect with me, of course. Again, shout out to the fam. I'm out. Talk to you guys later. God bless y'all. Take care. Bye.